By a show of fingers, who is concerned about the situation at America's southern border? Show of fingers, who's concerned about the situation at America's southern border? Three of you are. Michelle, what's concerning to you?
The only thing I know is I've heard recently that a couple times that, at least one of the entry ports here was shut down. And I don't know if it was because of cartels or whatever, but that's concerning to me.
You're talking about a physical water port?
No, sorry, the port of entry. So the border crossing point, at least in Arizona, I think was closed a few times.
And that's what's concerning to you about the situation in America's southern border.
Currently, yes, that's all I know about it.
Okay. Rochelle, what's concerning to you about the situation at the border?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that they don't have enough border patrols, and then they're like not having them open, or like having actual agents there at some of the um uh at the borders. Like one was just open, like the one that's over there by Yuma, it was just open. So it's like, are people just crossing? Like, it was just kind of strange. There's not any patrol.
Okay. Nicole, what's your concern about the situation at the border?
I just feel like there's not like a clear, concise plan. There's just this hot mess of oh, we want people to come over, we don't want people to come over, and so people are. There's always this overcorrection instead of how can we restructure this process so that way we can eliminate or reduce illegal crossings or illegal entries while ensuring that there is a smooth process for those who want to come over for citizenship.
Okay. Right. So I'd like to know who you think would do a better job handling the situation at the border, Trump or Biden? By a show of fingers, who says Trump? Do a better job handling the situation at the border? Three of you. Who says Biden? Rochelle?
I don't know. I can't even vote. It's just like, I guess I would have to say Trump, just because he's more like, he tried to initiate a bunch of stuff when he was in term, the whole wall and everything. He would always talk about it. So I guess I would have to say him.
Okay. Ruben, why would Trump do a better job?
Because he's proven that he's done it in the past. I mean, like the wall, stopping the flow of traffic, or not stopping it, but actually catching them and not releasing them,
Okay.
sending them back.
Michelle, why would you say Trump would do a better job?
Just going off what he did previously, it was one of the things he was most aggressive in, and when he was in office, I'm sure he wouldn't hesitate to jump right back to that.
Okay. Maritza, why would you say Biden would be better at handling the situation at the border?
I just feel like Biden wouldn't be so like she said, aggressive in a way. Um Biden I feel like Trump is very hot and cold in regards to that. Like he will go to like extremes. Whereas Biden, I don't think he would.
Okay. Got it. I'd like to know who you think would treat migrants more humanely by a show of between Trump and Biden. By a show of fingers, who would say Trump? None of you. Who would say Biden? All five of you. So when it comes to immigration policy, there's been a long-standing debate over whether we need to prioritize securing the border or dealing with the millions of undocumented immigrants already in the United States? While you may think that both steps are vital, by a show of fingers, who says that securing the border is the higher priority? Three of you. And who says dealing with those who are undocumented is the higher priority? Two of you. By a show of fingers, which candidate do you blame more, Trump or Biden, for there not being a deal in Washington to solve the immigration issues we're facing? By a show of fingers, who would say Trump is more to blame for there not being a deal in Washington? None of you. Who says Biden? Maritza, where are you?
I feel like they both contributed into not having Washington have any sort of deal in regards to immigration. I feel
Okay.
they both played a part.
Got it. Four of you blame Biden. The other four of you blame Biden. Why?
I chose Biden because it's like you don't hear him speak about the border or try to push for any change or policies in the border. And that's all you would hear about Trump, even though all he would talk about is a wall. But at least that's something.
Okay. Other reasons why you blame Biden. Ruben?
It just keeps denying that there's anything wrong with the border. Just keeps saying that there's being taken care of,
Okay. Michelle, why do you blame Biden for that?
It just relates back to I don't think Biden's done much of anything. I mean, Trump was very aggressive with immigration, and I feel like Biden let it just unravel completely.
And Nicole, why do you blame Biden?
That's what I was going to say. He's not a man of action.
Okay. So former President Trump has pledged mass deportations if he becomes president again. By a show of fingers, are any of you concerned that people you know may be deported if that happens? Any of you concerned about that? One of you, Maritza. Why are the rest of you not concerned? Michelle?
Are you saying it's a concern only for people we know? I mean, I'm concerned for people I don't know.
Okay. I was wondering, I was trying to get the personal side of this, like whether you know people who, just through your daily life, might actually get deported. Is that something that's crossed your mind? It's like, oh my God, if he becomes president and he's planning and pledged to mass deport millions of people, whether that would affect you personally in terms of people you know. So Michelle, that's not the personal side of this is not a concern for you.
So how it relates to many things that pertain to me, yes. So just I'm an administrator, I hire and fire people. I just feel like, yes, it's going to affect a lot of people that I know who have people that could end up as part of, that group that gets deported. So, I mean, I may not know anyone personally or directly, but it's I feel like it's going to affect all of us deeply, even just losing people who are doing jobs that we have to fill. So,
Okay. Nicole, what about you?
I work in a school and I support students with disabilities. And while those students are documented, there's a lot of students that we know that their families or the people they're staying with are not. So that's a huge concern because what happens to those students, especially they're a vulnerable population, not only because of their age, but because of their disabilities.
Okay. So you said you have a hard time voting for Trump or Biden again. So is this part of your calculus in Trump?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's not even a hard time. I can't imagine a situation where I would vote for either of them.
Okay, got it. It looks like might have Isaiah back.
You do.
Great. Can you possibly put your, welcome back. Can you possibly turn your thing on the side?
Like that?
Yeah, and leave it balanced on something? Great. Thank you. Good to
Cool.
have you back. Last
Yes,
question
sir.
on immigration. By a show of fingers, who would like to see a second-term President Trump finish the wall with Mexico? We'd like to see a second-term President Trump finish the wall with Mexico. Let me ask the question a little differently. Let's assume he becomes president again. So I'm not asking you whether you want him to become president. I'm asking how many of you, if he becomes president again, would like to see him finish the wall with Mexico? None of you. Okay. And why not? Ruben, why not?
It shows that it's not working. And people are still getting across.
If he finishes the wall, it's still,
Whatever he's built is being brought down. So there's always finding ways around it.
okay. So whatever he's built has been brought down, meaning what people have gotten around it. Is that what you mean?
Right.
Okay. Got it. Anybody have a different reason why you don't want to see a wall built if Trump's reelected? Nicole?
It's a waste. I mean, there's the energy and the resources need to be put into an actual plan, not just a materialistic show.
Got it. All right, thank you.
I was gonna add too, like it's just be a huge money pit, and then as well as like we know there's history of them digging tunnels and just other ways. Like it's not gonna solve everything.
Got it. Thank you. By a show of fingers, who's concerned about the situation at America's southern border? Got Melissa, Sonia, and Enrique. 3 of you. Okay. Sonia, what's concerning to you?
Just the increase of cartels down there and the drugs coming over to the United States and our border not being very secure.
Enrique, what about you?
Anybody can get in unchecked, unfiltered.
Right. Melissa?
The concern for me being raised in a border city is the amount of children being left without their parents or family when they are, when the adults are taken and the children are left behind.
Okay. So I'd like to know who you think would do a better job handling the situation at the border, Trump or Biden? By a show of fingers, who says Trump? Five of you. Who says Biden? Okay, 1 of you. Kristen, why would you say Trump would do a better job on the border?
Because I think the responsibility of like what Melissa said, of the kids in the cages was under unfortunately under Obama to the Biden administration. And I think that Trump would actually, I think that he would not let that happen.
So,
I think that he would step in, and I think he would do something about that.
so the quote kids in cages, that didn't happen under Trump?
It started under Obama's.
Okay, and then what happened while Trump was president?
Well, I actually don't know. I can't give you that answer. I was thinking Biden. I was thinking Obama into Trump. I was thinking Obama into Biden. So no, I guess you're right. So then I redact then. but I still see, I guess it really hasn't changed on with both administrations, with all three. Then if we look at it.
Okay, but I'm talking about generally about handling the situation
Okay.
broadly. Who do you think would be a better job of it, Trump or Biden?
I guess Biden, then I'll go with Biden.
Okay, I'm not sure, just so you know.
No, you're not. I know you're not trying. I understand that, but I hear what you're saying. It didn't change from Obama to Trump so it would be Biden.
Melissa, why would Trump do a better job on the border?
I feel like his policies were more strict. However, we see kind of the result of what's going on now with Biden, where them just kind of rushing through in droves of immigrants coming over. I don't think particularly that one was better than the other, but I do feel like there does need to be more stricter rules. Maybe some more education on that end too, on how to handle it. Border issues have been an issue with all our presidents. I just feel like the amount of immigrants that have migrated illegally, causing more issues, like I said, about leaving children behind, has happened during the Biden administration. Although we saw a lot of it portrayed in news, right, where the kids in the cages during Trump's administration. Now we're just seeing droves of them coming in from all over South America.
Got it. Okay. Any other different reason why Trump would be better other than what we've talked about? Enrique?
Just the perception that they're being so with Trump, there's the assumption that he's not welcoming, he does not like migrants. That's so people, just by him being elected, well, we're not going to go to the States because we're not welcome there. And the other one is there's plenty of laws, right? But the administration tells the people that enforce those laws whether to enforce them or to turn a blind eye. I believe that he would encourage to enforce those laws.
Okay. But just on the first comment you made, just want to make sure I understood that. So Trump being not welcoming to immigrants discourages them to come to the border in the first place.
Yeah, definitely. I think with certain, when he got elected, I think more people reverse migrated, right?
Got it.
Self-deported, or wherever you want to call it.
Yeah. Kasaya, why would you say Biden would be better at the border on border policy?
So I think he'd be better because he's tried to expedite the process for the asylum seekers. I just think he would view the situation with a little bit more compassion than just being anti-immigration, no exceptions, you don't belong.
Okay. I'd like to know who you think would treat migrants more humanely, Trump or Biden? By a show of fingers, who said Trump would treat them more humanely? One of you. Who would say that Biden would treat migrants more humanely? Wait a second. Melissa and Sonia, I need you to vote. Who would treat migrants more humanely, Trump or Biden?
I don't think either do.
Okay. Sonia, what about you?
I think there's work to be done across the board, of course, but I guess in this stance, if I had to make a choice, I'd say Biden.
Okay. Got it. So when it comes to policy, there's been a long-standing debate over whether we need to prioritize securing the border or dealing with the millions of undocumented immigrants already in the US. While you may think both steps are vital, and that's fine, by a show of fingers, who says securing the border is the higher priority? Four of you do. And who says dealing with those who are undocumented is the higher priority? Two of you. By a show of fingers, which candidate do you blame more, Trump or Biden, for there not being a deal in Washington to solve the immigration issues we are facing? By a show of fingers, who says it's Trump who's more to blame? 3 of you. Who says Biden is more to blame for a lack of a deal? 3 of you. Why is it Trump? Manny, why is it Trump who's more to blame?
I don't know. There's just so many times where like I tune into the news and there's bills getting passed, and either I always hear that Trump doesn't like a certain part of the bill and then just rejects it all as a whole. So I don't necessarily agree or disagree with his decision, but I just, whenever I tune into the news, I see that he shuts it down or shuts down any program or bill that tries to get through, because there's a border crisis, whatever, amendment in there.
Okay. Sorry, why is Trump more to blame?
Because there's recently an immigration bill that they wouldn't even bring to the House floor because it's an issue they want Trump to campaign on. So it's beneficial for this to still be an issue for Trump, so he can fix it once he gets in office.
Got it. Kristen, what about you? Why is Biden?
Yeah, I would agree with Manny that he stops. He'll stop a lot of the bills that come forth before, like, or he deads them right when they're about to pass.
Okay, thank you. The other 3 of you, why is Biden more to blame? Enrique?
He's been a politician for over 40 years in the Senate. That's one. He was a vice president with Obama. They have had majorities. And I mean, the Democrats always promise, hey, immigrants will get you a new amnesty. They never do it. But honestly, both parties are to blame. They want undocumented people here on both sides. So, but I would say Biden's more to blame because he's been a politician for over 40 years. He's been a vice president and a presidential.
Okay, but focus on him as president. Set the other stuff aside. Why is he more to blame as president than Trump is as president?
Because he's the president and he promised legalizing or dealing with immigration, but he hasn't.
Thank you. Sonia, why is Biden more to blame?
At this point, he's been in office long enough where he could have really done something about it if he really wanted to. And he hasn't.
Melissa?
I feel almost the same as what they're both describing. He promised to do a lot for border. He's actually been scrutinized as the one president who has done the least for border control, where I feel like even if we disagree with the way Trump went about specific things with his border control, he did something at least about it.
Got it. Thank you. All right. So former President Trump has pledged mass deportations if he becomes president again. By a show of fingers, are any of you concerned that people you know may be deported if that happens? As a personal concern, like you know people who might get deported if Trump mass deports. Enrique, one of you. So Enrique, you'd still be interested in supporting Trump even if that happened?
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk all immigrants run, right? And it's still worth it for them, honestly.
Okay, got it. And by a show of fingers, who would like to see, if he's reelected to a second term, President Trump finish the wall with Mexico? Who'd like to see that? One of you. For the rest of you, why would you want to see the wall completed?
I don't think it's effective. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Not Manny, go ahead. Not effective.
I just don't think it's effective. Like, I mean, a lot of it was already put up, and you see, whether it's Trump or Biden's fault, you still see people coming through. It's expensive. It's been proven to not necessarily help. A lot of people that come in usually fly in, overstay their visa, so it just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay. Other reasons other than what Manny said? Kasaya?
Can I just add onto what he said? So, in regards to like being ineffective, most of the illegal immigrants in our country overstay their work visas. They're not coming through the southern border. And most of the drugs that are being brought into our country are not coming through the southern border. They're being brought through legal ports. So it just seems like some nonsense.
Nonsense. Okay, got it.